Hey guys, today I'm gonna take my 170 Balsa Kit out and try to go ahead and fly it. But first I'm gonna show you just a little closer look at the plane before I put the monocoat covering on it. Here's just some footage, with the covering off and just showing all the parts moving and working correctly, just testing everything out before I cover everything up. See there, the flaps are going down, and you can see the three servos I use. There's two for the ailerons and then one in the middle for the flaps. And then here's the battery cover. It's magnetic. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it out to try to fly it. It ends up not being successful. I just first I started doing some taxi checks, make sure everything's working correctly, all the control surfaces move freely, and setting up the controller to work correct. First I'll just start taxiing around nice slow. First thing that I noticed that didn't work right was the landing gear. The landing gear from a UMX Timber, and the wire that holds them is not quite strong enough for this heavy of a build. So when you taxi around, the gear really just spreads out and gets really wide, and the plane kind of just squats down and doesn't really taxi in the correct way. And it also is a little narrow, so when you start to turn kind of fast, it tips a little bit. So I'll have to fix that, and then here's me trying to actually take off with it. It just doesn't quite have enough power. So now I'm going to try to just replace that motor, and I'm going to go ahead and add 3-cell, that battery that's sitting there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the front off the plane and take the old motor out. And so there's the new motor that I'm going to put in it. And so now I have to cut out the nose that I made and to fit that new motor in. Because of the firewall that I built there, it unfortunately is going to stick out a little bit, because that firewall I made there to kind of hold the engine in place is a strong piece of like 1/8 inch plywood, and it's really glued into the entire structure part of the front part of the plane. So I really can't change that or modify that a whole lot. So I'm just going to have to deal with that and just mount the motor to that part. And then because the motor is bigger, it's going to just stick out a little bit. So there, I'm just using my Dremel tool to make that motor fit in there correctly, and make sure there's enough gap there that the motor can spin freely. And I'll leave down in the description below the actual motor and the battery that I'm going to use that I'm trying out for this. And then there's the plate that I'm gonna that the motor mounts to. So I'm just test fitting that to make sure it works correctly. So there's how it fits without that plate, and it fits nice and flush with the front. Everything works nicely, but it sticks out the back, and so there's not gonna be any room for the battery, and just won't fit that way. So there's the plate mounted in, and then that motor just slides right into that bracket, and there's 2 Allen screws, and I just cut a little slice in the monocoating and just was able to put the Allen head through that monocoating and tighten that motor up to secure it in place. So there you can see it just sticks out a little bit, it moves free, and in the back it's clear for the battery to sit in there. Now I just have to put some heat shrink on, solder on some ends, and then connect them back to the ESC. Hey guys, out here today gonna try to maiden flight the Guillow's RC conversion 170. So I put a new motor in there since the last attempt. I tried to fly it off that 180 size brushless motor I had on there and a 2-cell battery, and I couldn't get it off the ground with flaps and everything else. I couldn't get it to come off the ground, so I needed some more power. So I ended up changing the motor out, put an Emax CF2805 in there, and I also upgraded it to a 3-cell, so I'm gonna run a 3-cell 450 milliamp 30C battery in there instead of the 2-cell that I had before. and then also put a different prop on there. I have a 5x5 prop on right now. Alright guys, well the first attempt at the main flight again, had a little bit of a crash and broke the wing. So I'll have to go back and cut the wing up and try to repair that. And just didn't quite not have enough power. I might try a different prop on there next time. I have a 6x4 prop, I might try that. So thanks for watching guys.